So I was on a WhatsApp group yesterday evening, and I had a lot of people there that were arguing about the truth behind the Trinity. There were a lot of questions because the whole concept of the Trinity is very, very confusing. Some said that Jesus and God are exactly the same. So some said that if Jesus were to be God, why was he? Who was he praying to when he said, "Our Father in heaven" or "Father, here I am"? You know, when he was saying, "Abba, if this cup is so heavy for me, let it pass over me," and all of that. Or why was he saying, "My Father is greater than I am," and all of that? So there was this confusion about we can't separate the Father from the Son from the Spirit. Three of them are one. So here is my take about the issue of the Trinity. So the first thing we need to understand is that God is one. God is not three persons. For me, I'm just trying to create a vivid explanation here. So God is one person, but God has a unique ability that no other being has. He has the ability to be everywhere at the same time. I call it uh, the omnipresent ability. I was listening to Apostle Isaac Kramer, one of my mentors. He said he has the proceeding ability. That means God can come out from himself, be here, be there, be in Italy, be in Jamaica, be in Tanzania, in Kenya, in Nigeria, in America at the same time, talking to different people with different memory bank or storage. And because his memory is limitless, he can just do anything that he wants to do within any time period as he wants. But so if I am God, I am seated here on my throne. I'm seated here on my throne. I'm seated here and I've sent myself, which is my spirit. So the one that you are seeing on the throne, you'll be calling that person Father because he's the source. It is from him the spirit has been sent. So all those other me that you can see in America, in Jamaica, and every other place, you will say that is the spirit of God. So when he sent his spirit to rest upon Jesus Christ, it was himself he sent. So the person that was on the throne is the Father. So you understand that it's exactly the same person. But now, God does not act without his word. So whenever God speaks and say, "Let there be light," for example, his spirit moves and his spirit creates the light. That means he himself will leave his body and make it to happen. So that's why God himself cannot lie. If God says, "I am at Abuja," or "I am in Lagos," or "I am in London right now," even if he wants to lie, his spirit will just follow his spoken word and it will be exactly in Lagos or in Abuja, whatsoever, or wherever he has said he would be, and start acting everything he's saying. So God does not have the ability to lie because his spirit acts everything that he says. So when you see the spirit of God acting and doing everything that God is saying, you start calling that person the word of God because at that moment he's living or he's acting at his word. So you understand that the Spirit, the Word, the Father, they are exactly the same person. So this is what happened when he wanted to save mankind from their sins. He said, "I will save mankind from their sin." He spoke his word. And then his spirit acted on that word, came down and entered into Mary's womb. Because the angel Gabriel told Mary something. He said, "The spirit of the highest shall overshadow you." That is the word of God made flesh. So God said, "I will save mankind." The spirit came down, entered into Mary, and turned into a baby. You will understand that it is that same God that was in Mary that became flesh, that created everything. For it was by him all things were created, whether visible or invisible. But the thing was that he had a human mind, quite different from the mind he had before. And he started growing up from babyhood to childhood to adulthood. And so God had to send himself, his spirit, to train him, to make him remember who he was from the beginning and where he's coming from. So that human boy that we saw, 12 years old, talking to people, it's actually God in human form. And God decided to say, "You are my son." So he's the same person. And when he had died, resurrected, and went back to the Father, which is the one on the throne, and merged with him and became one as they have always been from the very beginning, the only difference was now that God understood through him how human beings operate and feel. God now has a human mind, and of course, he has been God from the beginning. So it is we that is trying to say the Father, the Word, and the Spirit is actually one person. But because of Jesus, he now has a human mind. He understands us better. And so he understands our weaknesses and he knows how to comfort us whenever we are going through any situation. So that is my take about the Trinity. I hope I've not confused you more, but you should understand that God is actually one person. And although he sometimes acts in those different capacities and saying the Spirit of the Lord, you should know when he's talking about the Spirit of the Lord is the proceeding person that is coming from you. When he's talking about the Father, he is the one on the throne. When he's talking about the Son, he is the one that became flesh and died for our sins and came back. But is the same person that is just acting all these capacities. So thank you very much. Please subscribe to my channel and always listen to my messages. Hit the notification button and please share my content with as many friends that you have so that more of these videos would be created. Thank you very much.